I certainly hope that you didn't think we were only going to give you one show on this week. No. We got a little. No, we don't have a little. We've got something extremely special. Never before in the history of this podcast, which now is at 299 episodes, have we had an in-studio recruit on the podcast. Historic.
Actually, real quick, can you edit? Should this be the special 300th episode? Are we just doing the special guest early?
Boy, a lot of people
because our guest could carry the 300th episode here. Maybe we just recount.
We should have.
I demand a recount.
You know, we should have done. We should have done this, and then held it, and then say, okay, here's 300.
Well, here's the thing. You've screwed the number of episodes up multiple times and might be doing it right now. Just say it's 300.
Welcome to episode 306
Thank you.
of Three Guys Before the Game with our special in-studio guest, Mountaineer football recruit, Nicco Marchiol. We are delighted to have him with us, and we're going to jump in and go a bunch of different directions. As you probably well know, Three Guys Before the Game is brought to us by Burdett Camping Center. They are the only warranty forever RV dealer in the state of West Virginia. You can visit them at burdettcamping.com. They know the special quality of what we're doing here today. They've got a Nicco Marchiol special. Here it is. Since he's 4 stars, they've added 2 zeros next to the 4 stars. And so if you go to Burdett Camping and you say, I'm a Three Guys listener and I listen to the Nicco edition, you will get $400 off when you spend $1,000. You get $400 off when you spend $1,000.
Now that would be 40%.
That would be 40%. So visit them. They're the only RV warranty forever dealer in the state of West Virginia. $400 off because Nicco's got 4 of the stars. We put 2 zeros next to it, and they're the all-time greatest. Three Guys Before the Game is also brought to us by Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Go to Comax Business Systems. Visit them at comaxwv.com. And by West Virginia Game Changers. Supports and encourages young people throughout the state of West Virginia to build healthy, addiction-free lives. You can help our West Virginia families and children become a game changer. Visit wvgamechanger.com. So away we go. First off, dude, thanks so very, very much for coming in, man. It's our pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, guys.
Hope we don't put too much.
All the way from Arizona.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We've talked about you a good bit here as the process was happening. We just lost a mouse. Anyway, we talked about things, and then you had that visit to Arizona State, and Brad, I think it's fair to say we raised an eyebrow or two. You know, I mean, right?
Arizona State's had some challenges here during the offseason, so you're just never quite sure.
Yeah.
Never quite sure.
I mean, yeah, just, that was bad timing, wasn't it? Like
it
when
really was.
the crap hit the fan, and then and Nico's going to Arizona State. I'm going, that was weird, huh?
Exactly.
But you had to do the visit because
Hometown kid.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So you posted a week or so ago that you were going to come in to Morgantown, just kind of check things out. And I said, when I saw that, we got to get a hold of you here and get it. So a lot of things are going on. You guys, I'm assuming back home, are getting ready for the start of high school, your season coming up here.
Sure.
And I want a programming note. So you guys are going to be on ESPN, huh?
We are.
Got one against Bishop Gorman?
Bishop Gorman, week 3. Yes, sir. At home as well. At home.
We got it. That's a good deal.
Yes, sir.
So we always find it interesting when we talk with young guys, recruits, kids that have committed, kids that are on the verge of committing. It's always an interesting story how that process takes place. So I want to jump into that, learn about that aspect of it. But first off, let's talk a little about family. Sometimes we talk to kids, and they're the only one that plays football in the family. You're not in that category. You are the classic football family.
Football
so break
family.
it down.
Oh, so to the core, yeah. So my dad played for the Saints and the 49ers back in the late 80s, and he was a linebacker. He was an inside linebacker, just like hard-nosed guy. And then my 2 older brothers, one is 23, and then the other one's 21, and they both played linebacker as well. And gosh, I mean, I'm the only lefty in the family. I'm the only quarterback, and was just kind of the oddball out. And I actually started playing defensive end, and then I was like, this is so awkward. So I need to be doing something.
What does that mean?
What was that mean?
It was just, it didn't feel like I feel like I could do. I feel like I was a little more athletic than a defensive end, and I felt like I had some different qualities that could be used someplace else. Like, quarterbacks got to be vocal guys, leaders, taking command, and that's always been something that I like doing.
Right. So I'm making the assumption that you don't know a life other than football, because even as soon as you were growing up, it was just you were surrounded by it, correct?
That's facts, yes, sir.
Okay, so when did the process begin? In other words, were you the kid that had like the helmet on that was like this big when you were 5 years old running around? Did you start at that soon?
Yeah, literally age 5 was when I started playing, and just played ever since. My first year was with my dad's best friend's youth team, and we were pretty good. Still in contact with all those teammates pretty much. And then my dad actually had a youth team that was like a travel team, just like for baseball or.
Oh, this is good.
Oh,
see, I didn't even realize I didn't even realize that existed.
So it really didn't until like my age group kind of came around, and we went to Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Texas, California, like everything you do for baseball and all this other stuff in basketball, we did. And we played, these other top teams in the country. And
is it in a 7-on-7 type format or full on?
Real
full
football
on
pads.
Oh, dude,
you're taking linemen and everything
yes,
on this.
Sir. We're bringing these big like duffel bags that are like as big as a human, and we would just pack like 30 of them on planes and just take all our guys.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, I mean, it's one thing to be like an AAU basketball team, and you're like, you got your sneakers, yeah,
got your
good.
shorts and your shoes, and let's go.
So you literally would just fly the whole team.
Yeah.
So how many kids were you talking? You talking 30 kids?
Probably not that much. Probably like 20 around there. And
so a little two-way action.
You got to play both ways.
Two-way,
yeah, sure.
Two-way
we
action,
had
sure.
As you would.
Yeah.
Sir. We had athletes, so we had a bunch of guys that could play everywhere. And we were lucky to have a bunch of sponsors too, actually, that would help us out with flights and gear and.
Okay, so there's a good one. Yeah. So like, was Nike in right off the bat?
Nike was, yes, sir.
How about that?
Yes, sir.
Is that, and how old were you?
We were when we started dealing with Nike was when I was in 7th grade.
7th grade.
And then they were with us 7th and 8th grade.
How about that, dude?
It was a blessing. It was so much fun. So much fun.
So how many games would you play travel football?
Like 30. We would play 30 probably in a year, in a full football season.
Get out of town.
No, we'd play tournaments. Most of the out of state games would be like tournaments. Yeah.
Tournaments. Football tournaments.
Full football pad tournaments. It was a blast. And we would just most likely like either at like really, really nice high schools or college fields, like community college fields or whatever. And we would always find a way to practice and oh my gosh, miss youth ball. But,
so you would rip off how many games in a weekend?
Well, if we were winning the whole thing, probably 4 or 5.
How about that?
Yeah. And when you're that age, I was just thinking about this. When you're that age, you like don't get sore, you don't get tired. You can play all day, every day.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I just remember being like never tired, and we were always, we were always trying to get after it. And now, like, as soon as I finish practice or my game, I just want to go home and get in the ice bath and get ready for next day. But
so you're the quarterback by that time, and were you playing defense at all at that time?
I was actually. So my 6th grade year was my last year of defense, and I was free safety. Yep.
So you were the quarterback of the defense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hold on, let's turn it back here a second, because I think he said something interesting so he's from a family of defensive guys, but you felt ill-fitting on that side of the ball. So quarterbacks are born, apparently. I mean, right? You weren't necessarily made. I mean, maybe as you advanced on, you were born a quarterback.
I just kind of knew, like it was really my coach, my first ever football coach, that was like, he just doesn't seem like a defensive player. Like, yeah, I think it's two totally different mentalities. Like defensive guys just want to,
kill people,
hurt people, or whatever.
Yeah.
And quarterback guys, methodical and like take their time thinking, and that's my style.
Okay, so normally, Nicco, when you're that little, when you're in that 6th grade, they're not a whole lot chucking the ball around, right? It's mostly like, let's run a little power here, a little isolation, let's run a little option here. So how was the evolution of your throwing? How much were you guys throwing?
So my dad, we ran the power eye. My dad was the coach. We ran the power eye.
There you go. That's
I like
football.
We're lining up a fullback there and going. Yeah, there
exactly.
we
We had fullback, 2 tight ends, and
double tight.
yeah, oh yeah. And I would probably, if I was lucky, I would throw it probably 5 or 6 times a game.
How about that?
Yeah. And it
Well,
would
we
be
got to
pretty-
get him a deal at Bridgeport High School. They're down the road.
We do.
They throw it 5 or 6 times a game, and 4 of them are in warm-ups.
There you go. Yeah.
But you can run it a little bit too. Were you getting to run the ball too out of the power eye? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. There we
So
go.
We would have, quarterback sweeps where I just
Yeah.
get behind everyone, and what is funny though is we would come out in warm-ups with my youth team, and we would get in 2x2. And just,
Well, deception.
Oh, I like it.
Little deception.
So you learned right off the bat that football is an absolutely just the dirtiest game of all time when it comes to being deceptive.
Exactly.
You come out, you're going to say, let's go twins to each side, just
classic.
chuck it around.
Yeah,
I love
We're
it.
throwing it around the field
Because they don't have tape on you, so you're just trying to flip them out.
Exactly.
And the defensive guys are like going, hey, come here. If they go twins,
They go 2 over here.
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
Exactly.
All right.
Oh, it was a blast.
So when now we're 6th, as you stop playing D on 6, and you guys keep playing, when do you first start playing school football, middle school football? Do you do that, or do you stay?
So in Colorado, there was no like school football. It was all club. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years, I was all with my dad's youth team.
Okay,
And
that's a little bit different here. We've got middle school and stuff here.
and it was like that in like more northern parts of Colorado and
Right.
and like Greeley and that kind of stuff. But in the city where I lived, it was all club football.
It's interesting too. Sometimes I think people look at the AAU circuits, maybe in the basketball side of things, and think there's too many games, there's too much. But when you've been talking about you're smiling the whole time you're talking about this. So this is obviously all great memories for you. You loved it.
Blast. Oh my gosh, wish I can go back right now. It was
Yeah.
a
See, isn't that
blast.
different, right? You don't always get that. You get sometimes that burns people out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can tell he's giddy with it.
Yeah, well, he's only thrown it 5 times.
I'm still fresh.
He's got arm strength. I mean, if he was out there chucking that thing 42, I mean,
That's a lot of carries though. There.
well, I mean, he's fine. He's got linebacker. He's even though he didn't play linebacker, he's got linebacker DNA somewhere in him. He doesn't mind that.
Exactly.
Doesn't mind that jolt.
And my whole life, I wrestled as well. I was a wrestler. My dad wrestled in college.
Dude.
Oh, here we
Dude,
go.
See, I like you even more now. You know why?
But here,
I've never seen. I love wrestlers. I mean, if you've been a wrestler, it's a different cat.
Fact. Yes, sir. It's different. Oh my gosh, it's a whole different animal. Like the practices and getting ready for matches and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you're normally the defensive wrestling or the offensive line wrestling
Exactly.
Yeah.
thing is together. I mean, he's really broke through the mold.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
right? Family of defenders and a wrestler and breaks over to the skill side of things. You don't see that very often.
So how many years you wrestle?
All the way up until high school.
Show me your ears.
I didn't.
You
have
did it? No, he's fine. He made it out.
Always wore headgear.
What about your dad? He got any? He got the ears
Ears. Oh yeah.
busted up.
Everywhere.
Oh, see, that's
Yeah. Both of them. Both of them.
How much you have to wrestle in the house with the brothers before you got to actual
Gosh.
real
that's-
wrestling?
That's where
That's
the
what got you
aggression
into it.
came from. Yeah. That was everything. Just them just picking on me and aggravating me, and then me just retaliating and getting mad. And
absolutely.
we had a wrestling mat in our wrestling room in our house that we could go around and roll around in, and we actually had when what was it? Oh, when the state championships were going on, we would have the high school guys. They would come train with us, and we would get to roll around
At
with
the
them,
house?
And, yep.
I wouldn't know why.
You got a wrestling room in your house.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Dad ever go in, have the green sweatband and the red sweatband? Just kind of.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's go.
Green and red. Yep. Oh yeah.
So you did that until when?
Until 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When does it become a reality that you have the opportunity to play at the high college level? When does that light bulb come on?
That starts right when I'm going into high school. When I'm starting my freshman year, that was when I was taking visits and I was starting to. I didn't have any offers my freshman year, but that's when we were, talking to coaches and the in-state guys like Colorado State. They, took interest and they were the 2 first programs to offer me, and they would come out to games and watch us and yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast.
So I would imagine because you played across the country, those guys that watch, it's really quick. That, as you know, it spreads like a bad internet rumor, right? Like, hey, there's a kid from Colorado. His name's Nicco. His dad played in the NFL. You got to watch this kid, right? That's
Exactly.
how the whole thing starts.
Exactly.
So they know even though you're extremely young, that, okay, we're going to start watching you. Did you enjoy that aspect when you knew other eyeballs were on you from other schools? Did you go like, here I am, let's bring it?
Exactly.
That's
That's always been like my kind of mentality. Like the more pressure and the more eyes I have on me, the better I'm going to perform. And gosh, I mean, we always had, big time people either at our house or at our games. Like with my brother being a big time recruit, I was met with Kevin Sumlin and Noel Mazzoni and Jimbo, and I was always around all these guys, and it just kind of really, really matures you really fast and makes you realize, like, dang, like this is kind of what I want my future to be like. I want to be, coached by these guys and playing college ball, and so I was really exposed to that at a young age, and I'm so thankful for it.
See, that's interesting too. So much like you enjoyed the process of your traveling team, it sounds like you maybe enjoyed the recruiting process as well because you knew what was coming, right? You'd seen it, you'd already played all over, you'd been to different spots around the country, you knew about all that, and now you've met those coaches. So you probably welcomed that, whereas a lot of people don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
You enjoyed the process.
Oh, the recruiting process was so much fun. Getting to go to games and just talking to these coaches and getting these graphics and all the little stuff that comes with it. You really take all of it in, and I still don't get over the graphics West Virginia sends me. Like love all that stuff.
They're good graphics people.
Oh, they got a great graphic.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, sir.
Good So ninth grade, no offers, but you start sniffing around a little bit. Colorado State are there. Who's the first that makes the offer?
Colorado, University of Colorado, and that was Coach Jay Johnson and Mel Tucker when they were there, and they were. I'll always remember it. It was June 19th after one of my football practices in the summer. I was walking back to my office or my coach's office for a meeting after practice. Then all the quarterbacks left, and he's like, "Hey, Nico, I need you to hang around for a sec." I was like, "All right." And then he calls coach and puts it on the desk, and then he said, "We want to offer you a scholarship." And my heart just dropped. Like that's the dream. That's what I've been working for. And once you get one, then it's just it just snowballs, and it was so much fun.
How far away were you from Boulder? What your hometown, or where were you living in?
So I lived like a little suburb outside of Denver called Centennial.
Okay.
Like Centennial and Aurora. It was probably 45 minutes from Boulder.
Yeah.
So little ways, but we went up to multiple games. That was a cool place. Colorado's cool all over, and they were, again, being an in-state kid, checking out, but all that stuff was fun at a young age again. So
then as you well know now, once some schools find out that other schools have offered, here comes the shower.
That's a fact. Yep.
So who else is hitting you right after that starts to get out?
Oh, right after that was when we started going. My dad and I, we did a recruiting trip. So we went to, oh my gosh, we hit all of the SEC. That's when I got Georgia, Kentucky, Alabama, Florida Atlantic. Just called like in the middle of the trip and pulled the trigger. And oh gosh,
Just all the way through.
Everywhere. Yeah, it was so much fun, and that was probably like 2 or 3 week ordeal where we would like literally be at a campus for like 2 days, do the camp, meet with the coaches, hopefully get the offer, and then we were on a bus with other recruits driving to the next state. So
what are you hearing from coaches at that time as to what they liked about you?
Mostly the same stuff they like about my game now. It's kind of like, keeping my eyes downfield, extending plays, small windows, like throwing people open. Just, always trying to make something happen. If we have a busted play, just making sure that, we're getting something positive out of it.
Yeah.
So.
Give us the start of the West Virginia recruitment. What do you remember about that? When did that happen? Who made first contact? How did that elevate?
So I believe it was actually it was either Coach Reagan or Coach Trickett, and they reached out in a Twitter DM and was just like, hey, give us a call whenever you get a chance. We want to start recruiting you. I think at the time I was committed to Florida State. I was committed, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, another school reaching out, but
wait, stop right there. Okay. So how many of you're committed to Florida State? How many of those DMs were still coming in saying, hey, we'd love to talk to you? Multiple per day?
Yeah.
Multiple per day.
Yeah,
it kept coming.
Yeah. It's recruiting's never ending.
Not in football.
Exactly.
I mean, in basketball, once a kid says, I'm going, for the most part, people pull back. In football, it turns the heat up.
Well, it just kind of identifies who you're recruiting against now.
That's all.
Oh, really? You're committed over there? Great. Here's what we're going to do against them. Right. I get it.
That's
Okay.
all that
All right.
does.
So Trick Reagan, reach out to you. Here we go.
Yes, sir. So they reach out, and it was weird because I saw their page and I kept seeing the gold and blue everywhere, and like because I followed them and they started retweeting all West Virginia stuff, and I'm like, dang, like they got a lot of following. Like this is a really, really cool place. And I just kept looking at it more and more, and then decommitted from Florida State. I think moving a little fast, but
moving ahead to further action.
Yeah, so I some stuff happened at Florida State, just wasn't what we thought it was, and then I locked in 3 official visits with Arizona State, West Virginia, and Michigan State, and I knew those were going to be my top 3 no matter what.
Mel Tucker at Michigan State, right? So that makes some sense. You got some coaching there. Go back to the West Virginia thing. I find that interesting. So you're seeing the stuff on Twitter. You're seeing the graphics. You're seeing the interest. What was West Virginia before you saw all that? Do you remember seeing any games? Do you remember seeing them on TV? Was Will Greer a guy you saw? What did you know about West Virginia, if anything, before that started?
So all I knew about West Virginia was one of my best friends from growing up, still one of my best friends today. He played baseball here and was a big time pitcher here.
Who's that?
Cody Wood.
Okay.
He played here for a little bit, and then so I knew about them from that, and then I remember seeing the legendary Will Greer Texas throw in the back of the end zone, just freaking dime, best throw I've ever seen.
Throw, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
unbelievable throw, unbelievable
great catch. Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yeah, that was awesome, and I literally that's probably one of my favorite plays in college football.
He got a little Greer to him.
Oh yeah,
doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
he got a little Greer. He got
absolutely.
He got a little Greer.
Inspiration. I mean, I've been ever since that. I was a big follower of him, and the other thing I saw all the time that was on my feed like 24/7 was this West Virginia quarterback who wore number 11. He had a Vices helmet on, and I remember he threw a touchdown. Then he looked at the camera and went like that.
Jack Allison.
Yeah,
that's one of the all-time great clips.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's almost one. I'm with you. I have watched that maybe 6,000 times and cackle every time I do, and watch it and go, was that he did that in a game?
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
You know what he's talking about?
I know exactly.
I mean that close up, and you're right. He looks over and it's like that can't be real.
It was
they had to do that
smooth.
in practice.
Exactly. And that's what I thought too. And I was like, gosh, that guy is smooth for that. He's the man for that.
Moment.
Yeah,
it was his best moment as a Mountaineer. Thanks, Jack.
That
was his highlight. It was awesome.
That was his highlight. That was his mic drop right there. A lot of guys. So if I say the name Tavon Austin, does that ring bells to you?
Gosh.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So you've seen that dude, huh?
Oh yeah, that highlight reel on YouTube.
Unbelievable, right?
Best I've ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best I've ever seen. Start, stop, and lateral.
Yep.
I mean, he can go lateral as fast as he can go vertical.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just how he makes people miss other D1 guys that literally got full ride scholarships. Just making them look like silly. It's insane.
Yeah. We always laugh that a guy that was technically a receiver holds the single game rushing record at West Virginia, right? He's the single game rushing record.
You've heard that story, right? Where they ran out of running backs, had never played.
Way.
Yeah, so they literally ran out of. They had no one to put at running back. Mm-hmm. West Virginia's playing Oklahoma. So he's been a receiver his entire career. Dana Holgerson says, yeah, put him at running back. So they put him at running back, and he goes for almost 4 bills. Couldn't stop him.
It was stupid. You got to go back and watch the game. West Virginia, unfortunately, didn't win the game. One of the greatest single individual performances you will see.
Yeah.
Poor Mike Stoops, Oklahoma defensive coordinator time, never recovered. Recovered.
No, he didn't.
Still didn't know what to do. Didn't know what they were doing. Didn't know what he was doing back there. Couldn't stop him during the game. It was incredible.
No, it was like Nerf football with little kids.
Yeah, I bet just him.
Yeah, you got to go back and take a look. It was absolutely crazy. Our conversation continues with Nicco. A reminder to you that more and more business owners have to be on guard because there are bad people out there trying to get into your computer system. If you need an audit to know exactly if you're safe or not to prevent attacks, Comax Business Systems is ready for you, and all you have to do is get in touch. They'll come in for a complete free audit of your current IT. Visit them by going to comaxwv.com. That's comaxwv.com. The number, if you'd like, 888 483-7440, 888-483-7440. You know, we got an IT guy here. And one day he's got a bunch of monitors. I said, what are you doing?
What do you mean like a bunch? Like 3+?
Yeah. And so I go, like, what are you doing, dude? He goes, watching someone from Hungary trying to come in on our server right now.
No way.
Yeah. So, dude, it happens. So if your business does not have someone that's fully in charge of your IT and you're worried about it, they can do everything for you. 24/7 monitoring. They got it. Visit comaxwv.com. Tell them Tony and the Senator sent you. So I'm really fascinated, Nicco, that what really caught your eye was the social media aspect of it. The gold and the blue, you're seeing that on your feed, probably on IG, probably on Twitter as well, right?
Yep.
And so you're going like, I got to look this. So now, when do you recall the first literal conversation contact that obviously had to have gone well? What was said?
It was something along the lines of, so I see all the stuff about West Virginia and I do my research and I figure out that we're going to throw the ball here and I'm going to have some studs to throw it to for sure. And some big dudes up front to block for me. And I'm going to have some guys around me to make plays. And then our first phone call was along the lines of that is that, if you come here, we're going to showcase your talents. We're going to throw the ball around. You're going to have guys that are going to go up and get the ball. You're going to have time and, we're going to have a good guy in the backfield with you. And I was, that's all the quarterback needs to hear. Just the fact that I'm going to have other guys around me that are, locked in and have the same goals as me is all I can ask for. And as you guys have seen with this recruiting class, we've built up some crazy momentum and it's not over yet, but we got a good roll going.
Yeah. Right? Your first visit to WVU, how did that go? Because you're around mountains growing up, right? Got college, right?
And
college
snow,
hikes.
although it never snows here, but just on a weird freak occurrence, if it were to snow,
yeah, just in case.
Snow. So you hear the Arizona, right? And you might think, oh, well, climate, you get it. You totally get that.
Yeah. So I lived Colorado my whole life, and I've only been in Arizona for a year. But this type of environment is what I look like, what I love, like the mountains, the kind of secluded, but kind of their own thing. Like they have their own kind of fame here. I love it. It is perfect. I mean, it's the place to be.
Yeah. So when you walk on campus for the first time, what are your immediate thoughts?
I remember we took a tour as all the recruits. We had one of the recruiting ladies was showing us around, and the first thing I saw was, I can't remember the name of the building, but that super old, cool looking building.
Probably Woodburn.
Yeah, I think so. And that was the first thing we saw was all the cool buildings and stuff and all the architecture and stuff. And then when we started looking at the football stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, like this place is like committed to their football guys, like more than anyone I've ever seen. Like they're going to make sure you succeed. They're going to put me in the league. Like they're going to make sure I got everything I need. And I mean, that's what they have. They have, every type of recovery you need, every brand new technology that you can think of that's going to help you in football. They have, and it's literally all at the disposal for the football players. And I think that's just so, such a blessing. It's so crazy for us to go through this.
Just to put it in perspective then, here are your offers: Arizona State, Colorado, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Louisville, Michigan State, Nebraska, USC, Utah, Washington State. There's probably others in there. So from a facility standpoint, where's West Virginia stack?
Right on the top. I mean, like you said, we saw everyone. I saw the top dogs in the SEC, top dog in the Pac-12, everyone. I mean, this is the brand new, like, top of the line technology, everything. Like, everything is just brand spanking new here, and it's definitely number one. So
coming from a football family, what was your dad's advice during this process as to how you should look at things?
It was definitely a lot of advice from my dad, but more my brother. And what they were telling me is take your time. Like take your time, look at everything, make sure it is. I mean, because you're committing to them just as much as they're committing to you just as much as you're committing to them. And the three things I would look for was building a relationship with a coach. Place where I can get on the field early and play, and a place that's going to help me, get to the league and capture my dreams. And yeah, you just go through all the programs and you're like, all right, the school has that, but they're missing that, and it just takes time, and honestly messed up the first time and was too fast in the recruiting process, and was honestly, I wouldn't say tricked, but like kind of rushed into things, and it wasn't moving at my pace the way I wanted it to, and I only realized that when it was too late, when I was already committed, and then when I decommitted, I knew, all right, let's take a complete fresh start. Like let's look at something totally different from the other schools, and something that's kind of out of my comfort zone, but someplace that I can really, really see myself, and that was West Virginia.
Okay, so you did the restart, and maybe going through that first part of it opened your eyes a little bit, right? Gave you, okay, now here's what I'm looking for. I'm going to have a little more critical eye when I go in here. A lot of players will talk about once they're gone, they knew when they walked in that it felt right. Mm-hmm. I assume you had that same feeling. This was just comfortable for all those reasons you've just outlined?
Exactly. I mean, exactly like you said. I think that's one thing all recruits can agree on is you can tell right away when it's the place or it's not the place. And,
mm-hmm.
and as soon as I walked through the doors, I was like, wow, like the love here is different.
Yeah.
So.
First interaction with Neil, did you go back and look at Neil's quarterbacks from Troy?
I actually was pretty unfamiliar with his background until I got here, and then I was like, oh my gosh, legend in the building, and looking at all the quarterbacks he's been through and all the wins he's got and stuff, and I was like, wow, I'm playing for a great guy, and this is gonna be an awesome opportunity for me, and the biggest thing I saw on my visit here was I don't want to say who, but these other schools they would kind of put their head coach on a high step and be like, oh, he's done this and this and this and this, and look at all the games he's won, all the bowl games and stuff. And then when I was here, it was all family oriented. They're like, all right, here's a picture of my family. Here's here's what we're trying to capture. Here's what we want to do for you. Like it was so much more about the players and about like love and family, and you seriously cannot find that anywhere else. And that's what the main thing that drove me here was just the family feel and being comfortable and just being able to be myself.
Yeah. Fifth quarter program is something that they're very much pushing. Is that something that intrigued you?
Big time. Yeah, that was something we talked about a lot on my visit, and I saw they just did something where they were all
dressed up. I was just over there yesterday. They were all
those nice suits.
Each guy had a nine-piece suit on, top
great.
hat, walking stick, absolutely 7 vests.
Yeah, hat and tails if they wanted them, optional there. Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Yeah, they were doing something there yesterday without getting those guys set.
And that program is really, really cool. They talked about it briefly with us, and see like that kind of stuff, like setting you up for life after football, because there's football is just a short part of your life, and I think the sooner I realized that, and I've had my dad and my brother telling me that for a while, but the sooner I realize that, I think the better off I'll be. Obviously I want to play as long as I can, but I think West Virginia just gets you ready for real life.
Yeah.
So
jumping around, as we said we were going to, name, image, likeness. You're coming at a pretty good time, huh? Quarterback.
Perfect.
Brad? Now, this guy
time.
spent 20-plus years in marketing over there. What do you think here? From
Nicco, very marketable. my early read, here's my expert opinion after 2 decades into it. Very marketable dude here.
There we go.
Are we doing hair products? What are we doing?
I mean, keep the hair. That's a differentiator. Yeah. Keep the hair.
Yeah.
Right? Got potential things there. Absolutely. I mean, anything he wants, he can speak.
Yeah.
Here's the key. Can you talk?
Yeah.
If you can talk, you got a lot of opportunities. He can.
Yeah, plus his quarterback gets touched.
Quarterback's a good spot.
I had a
leg up early.
I had
but pick your spots. Pick your spots. You don't have to go take everything that comes in.
Absolutely.
Associate with the proper brands and people. That's important. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's our advice.
Okay.
Not to sound like your dad. Not that you need any more advice.
No, thank you.
But that's the one thing in this NIL space. Pick your spots. It'll be there.
I had an informal meeting yesterday by chance over at the building with 2 offensive linemen, and I said to them, so how's this name, image, likeness working for you?
Yeah.
I said, skill guys are killing you, aren't they? And they went, yeah. So I offered.
Did you offer our services? We'd be happy to help, because I think there's a very marketable offensive line contingent now.
Yes.
We can assist in that process.
I told them, and they were totally in on it. 2 of the guys were starters. And I said, let's think about food. let's think about large quantities of food. You know where I'm going.
Which
here.
we like to do. We're
Which
right
we
in
like to do. I said,
Did you include us into whatever deal
Well,
comes along? Can
sure,
we go to the dinner each week?
Probably.
Okay, good.
And I
Thank you.
said, that's when they said, we're in. 2 out of 5. I mean, I'm sure they were speaking on behalf, because those offensive linemen, Nico,
It's like one unit, right, Nico? Right? They just travel with the package, one unit that goes around.
They have to move together. Whether it's
You were
zone
talking
block-
to 2, but basically spokespeople for the 5.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
8. I mean, you got to include some others.
So I
in there.
did say, the quarterback's probably going to come out of this deal. All right, let's talk a little food here.
Yes, sir.
So you're Italian. So what are we eating?
Well, we have pasta every Sunday.
Oh, so you're traditional,
We
dude.
are.
Who's
Mom-
cooking that?
So my grandma has her homemade sauce recipe, and
This is awesome.
She taught it to my mom. So now my mom makes it.
How's she do? She do all right?
She does really good.
She does all
She
right
does
with
really
it?
good. She
Does Grandma ever come in and kind of critique, or?
all the time.
Yeah,
every
good.
time.
Very good.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
time.
gotta do that. Now, in that sauce, is it just a straight sauce? Are we doing meatballs inside that thing? Maybe a little spare.
So we do meatballs separate. So again, homemade recipe for the meatballs, and
Size of the meatballs?
it's about a golf ball.
Yep.
Oh, so
very
little-
good.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
great meatballs. Gosh, yeah.
You
And,
lean toward a rigatoni or a classic long spaghetti. On
long
that?
spaghetti.
Yeah, I go with the traditional.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
we've always been like, that kind of family.
Yeah.
Bread situation?
Garlic bread. We go garlic bread,
Very
and
good. Very good.
we usually go a couple different types of ways with the garlic bread. Either on the grill outside just for a couple seconds.
Nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice touch.
Or the oven. But no, we like to spice it up here and there.
Sure.
So you guys pound it.
Oh my gosh, we get after it. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's
Yes, sir.
awesome. Okay, so
By the way, can we go out and do a live episode from their house on a Sunday?
this is good.
Can we do that?
Come out whenever. Oh yeah.
We get. There's some pretty good pasta. There's some pretty good pasta places around here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 216 pounds.
Yes, sir.
You're pretty solid, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you're a legitimate 6'2".
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where do you want to? I would think that's where you want to stay. You don't need to go 225 or anything, do you?
No. So actually, no one really knows about this.
Well, you
but
can
I
tell
was,
us, just the 3 of us.
Yeah,
Yeah, just us.
yeah. But I was I want to say 3 months ago, I was 230.
Were you really?
Yeah, and it was just bulk.
Oh,
And
that's too big.
Yeah, it was way too big. I could tell, you can't move as fast, and
You lost a step, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And Arizona was starting to get hot, and I was like, yeah, this is not happening. and then I dropped down. I was sweating a lot at practice and stuff, and now I'm like a good 215, feeling great. This is probably when I'm going to play the season at.
Probably 215.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. That's good. That's good. Did you fall in love with the Phoenix Suns run?
I've never really paid attention to basketball much until now, and then everyone was saying Suns and 4, all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess Suns and 4. But they were saying stuff like Rally the Valley and all this cool stuff. So I was bandwagon, and I was like, all right,
Well, you
go
just got there.
Suns.
Plus, you just got there.
Exactly.
I would think you'd be more of a Nuggets guy than he would be a Suns guy.
Honestly, I know more about the Nuggets than.
So
the Suns.
NFL team is what? Did you stay with Dad's team, or do you jump around? What do you do?
I'm actually a huge Brady fan.
Really?
Been a Brady fan since forever. More so his mentality and his play style than anything.
Probably not a bad role model.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to pick one, I think that's pretty good.
it might be.
Yeah.
You
Probably
know-
does a couple things you'd want to emulate.
You know what's interesting there? It was what he did. So you guys, and I say you guys like the old guy, which I guess I'm probably now the old guy. Used to be the young guy, not the young guy anymore. But anyway, it's beside the point. Dude, so you see what he said? He didn't say team.
Individual.
He went individual. So you guys go individuals now more than you go team.
But see,
Times
but
change a
his
little
age, you have to because guys switch teams so often, right? So it's difficult to pick a team and ride it like we did in the old days.
Yep.
Fair?
It's 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
And just like that. Was never really a team fan. Wherever Brady was playing, I was like, let's go Brady, man.
Well, speaking of which, though, ask him about the hat. I mean,
Yeah,
very
what's up?
fashionable hat. We've got a New York hat on, but it's in the non-traditional color. Is that like a green shade?
So it is green shade, and then this side we have the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Lady Liberty, and then this side we have a World Series patch. Then if you actually look on the back, there's the Big Apple. For New
Yeah, I
York.
heard about these
Is this one of
hats.
the new? Those
Yeah.
are new hats. They just came out recently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, brand
And you
new.
went in. Oh, pink underbill.
The pink brim.
Okay, why?
It's something I literally just got into probably like 2 months ago. It's actually like a really, really big thing in like California, New York, and that's really it. Yeah, but like the Bay Area, like when we were in California for our football camp, a couple of my buddies and I off the team literally walked down to one of the hat stores and bought like 3 each because they're so exclusive. Like
Really? So what's that thing cost?
this one, it's like 125 bucks.
So I got you. So those basically are Jordans.
Yes.
That's kind of like the Jordan thing.
And it's pretty cool because you kind of learn more about them like the more you get them. So pink brims are the rarest kind, they say, and then there's blue brims, yellows, baby blues, purples, like all these different cool stuff, red brims, and you kind of just like try to match it with like shirts you have or shoes you have and stuff, and just put together some outfits. And
you wonder why merchandising has gotten so big. You talk about how the game has changed over the last 15, 20 years. That right there.
Sure.
That first of all, the non-traditional colors is one. Yeah. Number two, putting all of the graphics on there right next to the team logo. That's different. I mean, and he just told you, fashion, collectible. Didn't have you haven't mentioned the Yankees at all yet. Nope. It was all the other stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's 100% true. Yeah.
Well, how about the colors of the brim? So if they make fewer of those, right, it increases the value, 100%. Right? Scarcity increases value.
Exactly.
So I'd love that.
I like literally.
What else did you get? What other ones did you get?
Oh, I got an Atlanta Braves one that was purple and blue, and so the base was like purple, and then we had a blue underbrim, and had the side patch, and then some of them actually come with like little pins, like in
straight
youth
pins.
Baseball, yeah, like in youth baseball when you would trade pins with other teams and stuff, they would come just like with cool little pins like that.
Great marketing,
yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Great innovation there.
Seriously.
It's something simple that you just took to another level. People have always worn baseball caps. Now let's take it to another level. That's become the sneaker.
Yep, exactly.
Become the
That's
sneaker.
well done. I didn't realize that. I saw those come out, and there were a lot of critics of that hat because of all the stuff going on. I did not know there was that whole subculture going on right there. You're in.
Big time.
All right, what was the third? You gave me two. Do you remember the third? New York, Atlanta.
And then it was probably my favorite one. It was this all-white Boston Red Sox one. So the whole thing was white, and then it had the red B, and then a red underbrim, and then a red patch on the side, and it was gorgeous.
I love it.
Gorgeous.
That company, New Era, that makes those.
Yeah.
Derby, New York. Little place. Derby, New York's about that big.
We flew into New York. Our connecting flight was we flew into JFK this morning. At
Did you?
6 a.m. Yeah.
So don't
you had that lid on?
Yeah,
you had that lid?
Did.
Oh, very good.
And
did you know that? You know you were going to New York?
So I didn't even like notice it until when we were heading out the door in Arizona. I was like, wait, we're flying to JFK. Better grab the Yankees hat. So
good thing you didn't grab the Boston hat.
Facts.
Might have had a little situation there.
Facts. May have to.
You don't want that. So you went. So your flight in was Phoenix to New York, New York to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh on down. Yeah, I always hate having to fly past where you're going.
Right.
That always bums me out. Like
No
that
doubt.
totally bums me out when
No
I came back from Italy once. I flew from Rome to Cincinnati. I'm thinking, I just flew by my house. What are we doing?
Exactly.
what
I was thinking the same thing. It's
what
so
are we
frustrating.
doing?
Yeah.
Can we do a drop off?
Yeah.
Bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, we left at midnight, and then it was so weird. We left at midnight and then landed at like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, so you red-eyed here?
We did.
Yes, oh, dude.
Yes, sir.
So you're rolling. That's good.
Oh yeah. No, my dad and I, we've freaking flown so much and been on so many different planes.
This was nothing.
Yeah.
What's our time zone situation here with you? Mountain time zone is your familiarity. We got I don't even know what time it is in Arizona. Is there daylight savings time? Is there not?
It's too bad.
You're now near the eastern zone. How are we on time zone? You adjusting everything okay there?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of just go.
Do you
with
care
the
what
flow.
time it is?
No,
Do you know?
I
Okay.
just go with the flow and whatever's next on the agenda.
Yeah. You got any studs on your high school team?
Oh my gosh, yeah. One of probably the best high school team I'm gonna have ever is going to be this senior year. I think we have all the 2022s that we have are really, really maturing and developing, and then the 23s, all the incoming juniors are, getting after it in the weight room and just doing everything like they need to be doing. And we've been throwing more with ourselves in our off time, and I've been hosting like things at my house to learn the playbook and stuff, and because like this is my senior year. Like,
sure.
I want to make sure that because oh my gosh, last year we were so close. Do you guys know about my season last year?
Walk us through.
Oh, we had a great season. Went to the Open Championship against Chandler, and who was like number 7 team in the country or whatever. And we were down 23-7 and made a comeback. And we're on the 2 or 3 yard line, I think, about to win by a field goal. And our kicker missed it wide left from the 2 yard line.
You needed to go back farther.
Yeah, I think so.
You needed to go back farther.
So a little unfinished business might be the theme this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poor buddy. How's that kid? Is that kid all right?
Oh yeah. So we, there was crazy hate after the game, and it felt horrible because it was such a bad situation because all the COVID stuff going on. Our starting kicker had to sit out for contact tracing because he was sitting next to someone at school with COVID, and we brought up our JV kid, and just the moment
poor
was
buddy.
Man, moment was too big.
Was it on a hash? Was it a tough angle? And it was
dead in the middle.
Dead in the doggone middle.
From the 2.
I hate that, dude.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like this.
So you'll come back. You'll do the revenge tour.
Oh, we're getting there again.
Are you walking around in West Virginia stuff as much as possible, especially when there's some really good players that may want to follow you this direction? I mean, you're Flying WV is well represented out there now, right? Okay.
I wear it everywhere I go. Like it is my new style. I mean, I try to tell everyone, like at school and being like, hey, tune into West Virginia this year. And I try to tell them about all the stuff about us changing leagues and all the crazy stuff. And I actually have so senior year is kind of a breeze for kids in Arizona. So I have two classes a day, and both of them are coached by football coaches or taught by football coaches.
Perfect. That sounds like good scheduling too.
This is really going to be Will Greer-esque. That's what this is going to be.
That's well done.
And so we talk about football more than anything. I have a criminal justice class, and it's pretty much just all West Virginia stuff.
Criminal justice. You know what they're going to talk about? Jailbreak screen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're going to talk about.
Exactly.
Thesis on the jailbreak screen.
Fashion for a second. Turn back. When you came for your visit, and you have all the different uniform combinations you can put on. The favorite one was?
Gosh, I'd say the. Was it? I think it was the. I forget what helmet, but it was definitely the gold top, blue bottoms.
You like the gold and the blue?
Maybe blue helmet, blue, gold, blue. That's a good one. I like that one too. That's a good one.
I think that's just the clean, classy look. And then obviously the icy whites. Love the all whites. Those look great.
Just FYI, the classic at home is the blue with the gold numbers and the gold pants.
Okay.
That's the
blue, gold
blue,
pants.
blue, gold is the
gold.
traditional.
Which
is great. Okay. Which is great. But I'm with you, Nick. I like that blue, gold, blue.
Yeah.
I like that too.
We've had some camo in the past. We do the American flag with the state of West Virginia outlined in the American flag colors, red, white, and blue. So yeah, it's amazing how things have changed.
Definitely.
You a video game guy at all?
Huge video game guy.
Excuse me?
Huge video game guy.
What are you playing?
I play on PC, and I play Fortnite, Valorant, Counter-Strike.
You're not saying Madden?
Oh, Madden's all the time. Madden's all the time after practice with the guys. Like love that game. And then I was actually right before this last night. I was in a $3,500 Fortnite tournament with my buddies.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, $3,500 for a Fortnite tournament.
How many people?
There's 3 to a team, and there was probably as many people as compete as they take, and it's so you have to qualify. We qualified for the first tournament, so when I get back, it's this weekend. It's just the finals. Yeah. And
so it's ongoing. You're still alive.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
So,
and $3,500 prize, top prize
each person.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I got to lock in.
See, we've gotten involved as well, and so Madden. We've done Big 12 conference tournaments, Madden. Right. So each school in the Big 12 has a competition within the school, and then your representative that wins goes up against the other kids.
No way.
Yeah, I've done that twice, and I apologize. It was either $100,000 or $1 million.
Huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A milli?
Yeah, $1 million. It was either $100,000 or $1 million. I forget what it was. But then the second one I did was kids from literally all over the country. I had Boise State. which is like one of the premier esports schools in the country.
Heard that, yeah.
And yeah, it was and a kid from Northeastern. He was like unbelievably good. Yeah.
Do we have a Twitch set up? Can we watch this Fortnite thing? What's going on there with it? Can we get involved in this or no?
I gotta get my teammates Twitch because he's gonna be streaming it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like I gotta get my Madden game up, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean that's where the dollars are. But you're right. And then FIFA too. FIFA's going to be the next. That's going to be the next big one for dollars.
That one's hard. That one's really hard for me
Yeah.
because totally different like movement and stuff.
Did you ever do soccer or probably not baseball?
Big time baseball, football, baseball, wrestling. We're our family three.
Okay.
And I dropped football. I thought I was going to drop football my 8th grade year, and I was going to be a lefty pitcher, and think I was going to be throwing hard and making the big bucks and all this stuff, and then broke my ankle in a baseball tournament. And I was like,
don't need
not
that.
happening.
I'm going to football. It's safer.
No
Safer
doubt.
in football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Weirdly
Safer.
enough.
Safer in football.
Yeah, but I loved baseball. It was fun.
Hey, a reminder here, folks. We're going to wrap up with Nicco, but remember this, and these are huge. Talking about stats, talk about numbers. Addiction affects the entire family here in the state of West Virginia and around our country, but it robs children of their parents, parents of their children. West Virginia hit hard by the opioid epidemic. More than 7,000 kids live in foster care in West Virginia. That's 71% increase over the last decade. And if you do all the math on it, 54%, over half of the grandparents who live with their grandkids are responsible for raising them. That's more than 35,000 kids in West Virginia. You can be a game changer. Help build healthy, addiction-free lives. Become a game changer. Visit wvgamechanger.com. That's wvgamechanger.com. So, practice starts when for you?
I think we're going to go every single day once I get back Monday.
So
And
here you
we'll
go.
be, helmets only. It'll be start of helmets. So then we're getting after it. We got conditioning, lifting every day. Like it's going to be a grind and it's going to be fun.
And we're getting you on ESPN this year. We can
Yes,
watch
sir.
this fall, West Virginia fans.
Yes,
Bishop
sir.
Gorman. We've done Bishop Gorman games, haven't we?
We have done Bishop
way.
on the basketball side. We haven't done
Okay.
football. We've done basketball games for ESPN on that. Yeah.
But,
All right. So this is week 3 against Bishop Gorman on ESPN. All
on
right,
ESPN
we'll keep
at
an eye.
home. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then honestly, the Chandler game will probably end up being on ESPN as well because we played 3 on ESPN last year. So we played Saguaro, who was a top 10 team or like top 20 team, then Chandler twice on ESPN, and then we have Gorman, and then we'll play another top 15 team again.
We'll make sure that we let our folks know
Now
when
people
you're
are kind of mad at ESPN right now in this area. But we'll make an exception to go watch Nicco on there,
sure.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah, well, I mean, you can. I mean,
Deal.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch.
Just compartmentalize, separate the two things.
Yeah,
This is high
say,
school
hey,
football,
I'm
different
not
thing.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
exactly. I'm not supporting. I'm not supporting the network. I'm just supporting
Nicco.
the young man.
Yes,
Correct.
Sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So okay, good deal. So now, rest of the visit, you're just going to be kind of hanging out and just talking to folks, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we have a dinner tonight with
Good.
the recruits. So
Good.
Now, is there any film study on this trip, or this is just fun? I mean, you gonna get in there, break down the.
So I think they have a camp going on right now. So what I'm gonna go do after this is I just kind of like walk around and stand with coach and stuff, and probably throw it around a little bit. We'll see. And then
Dude, you love football, don't you?
Love
I mean, you're every time he's mentioned something football
Smiles.
related, he smiles.
He smiles. Just kind of like us.
What's
with
our
food.
saying? What's our guy Mark Downey, great Division II coach, has been in the state.
He says some guys
Some
like
guys-
it, some guys love it, and some guys live it. And the guys that live it are the guys that have the most success. You live
That's him.
Sir.
it. Yeah.
sir.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys. This was awesome.
All righty. Nicco Marchiol in studio with us, and 3 Guys Before the Game has been brought to us by Comax Business Systems, your full-service Konica Minolta dealer. Get yourself a free appraisal for where your company is when it comes to security and so much more. Visit them at comaxwv.com. Don't forget the Nicco special, $400 off when you spend $1,000 on parts, sales, and service at Burdett Camping Center. Visit them, burdettcamping.com, or at their location in Winfield. And by WV Game Changer. Become a game changer today at wvgamechanger.com. For the Senator, for our producer, Taylor Kennedy, and for Nicco, we're out. Episode number 299, 3 Guys Before the Game, is in the book. See ya.
Or episode 300, maybe special. Hope you enjoyed it.